Welcome back, Fragrance Fiend here today with EDP by YSL. Released in 2018, the company has released over 250 perfumes in their lifetime. Not much from what I have smelled from them has really captured my imagination so far, but this one seems to differ. I don't typically go for mass-appealing, mass-marketed fragrances that everyone wears, and people get tired of them so quickly. However, this one for me has definitely escaped that stereotype. Although simplistic by nature, it's one I definitely gravitate to quite a bit. This is actually one of the fastest perfumes I've chewed through. I've got about 20% left, and I've only had it in my collection for about 4 months, which a very good friend gifted me. I've definitely crowned this as one of my top 3 gym scents. But anyway, let's get further into the review. So one of the things which drives me crazy is trying to find a proper note breakdown, so I always go to the official website and do what they say, even though that will completely vary from what retailers put up or what you see from Fragrantica. On YSL's official website, you have a top of white accord, geranium and sage, with the base of dark accord, sensual woods and tonka bean. Where is the heart? And what is a white accord and what is a dark accord? I've been wearing fragrances for well over a decade. I've studied it immensely. I know quite a bit, but never have I come across anything saying white accord or dark accord. So I'm just going to flash another note breakdown found off a retailer, which kind of makes a little more sense. I can't really imagine from a consumer's point of view being like, oh, it's got a white accord, I'm going to love this, or a dark accord, or a mixture of both. It just tells me nothing. The only sense I can actually make out of this statement is that it is actually both fresh and sweet, which is very typical of a blue type of fragrance. Build quality and cap feel really good. It clicks into place perfectly. The atomizer is half decent, but what do you really expect? But it's the scent that definitely wins me over. I think the scent has become nostalgia in a bottle for me. It definitely reminds me of like a hot summer day being out by the pool. I mean, that's not what the bottle smells like, but that's what it reminds me of in my own way. All that being said, it does smell somewhat chlorine-ish, but as for the transformation of the fragrance, it does open both fresh and sweet. The geranium definitely dominates. It's got a tiny bit of that apple accord, which isn't listed on the official website. You get hints of wood in the opening, but they're still somewhat minimal. They are very smoothly blended. It's far from a sharp or aggressive fragrance. It's very, very smooth, and as it is designed to be mass appealing, it is very appealing, and I don't like a lot of mass appealing fragrances such as Bleu de Chanel, Dior Sauvage, Dior Homme Sport, or any of that. I honestly do not like it. I'm not trying to be edgy here. It just smells like the projection, longevity, and sillage, which I'm now going to abbreviate to PLS, is definitely above average. I mean, it's not extreme, but it does more than it has to do, which is great. Price has risen once again in the past few months. I believe it's 205 Australian dollars now for 100 ml. I remember when I first got it, I liked it, and then halfway through the bottle, I was like, okay, I'm wearing this maybe a little too much, or I'm growing tired of it, and now that I'm getting toward the end of the bottle, I'm absolutely loving it. I definitely see the appeal behind it. YSL pump out a lot of stuff which I'm not going to call questionable or low quality. I don't know why so many people liked Blue Electric. I mean, it did have those discontinuation rumors, which I think is why people flocked to get it, even though it's back on every single shelf now. There is, however, a ton of crossover with YSL fragrances. A lot of them do have that similar DNA. You know when you can smell a YSL fragrance. Since I'm running low on a few of my designer fragrances, I'm going to pump those videos out first before I start releasing more niche content and going for more in-depth reviews. Anyway, you can definitely wear this one all year round. It mixes both those fresh and sweeter elements to it. The age range is definitely from late teens to early 30s, obviously leaning more masculine. Any guy can really get away with wearing this. Since Christmas is coming up and you're watching this trying to figure out if you should buy this for your son or your father or anyone in between or a friend, I think it's another perfect gifting fragrance. I think this blue era fragrance is definitely locked into a certain time and place and period, so I think maybe in a few years time this might be considered a little early 2020s, like you could say the same with Le Male in the 90s, like you can say with Le Male, for example, in the 90s, where you can still get away with wearing it, but it does smell a tiny bit more dated nowadays, even though it's an incredible scent I still absolutely love. And that's kind of another reason I gravitate toward niche. A lot of it is kind of timeless. Anyway, that's all for today's video. If you'd like to see me review another YSL, feel free to comment which one below, or any fragrance at all for that matter. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.